What's up, good people? David Taub here from nextlevelguitar.com, and we've been getting a lot of requests to show you another progression. So I put together a little progression in the key of B minor. It has a little jazzy kind of feel to it. It has most of the chords in it are in the key of B minor, and I'm going to give you a close-up on all the chords and show you those in case you don't know them, and we'll go through the progression and you can mess around with it. Now I'll take in tight for all these, but the chords you're going to need to know for this progression are an E minor 7th, and this is also a great exercise because we're going to use mainly bar chords, so it's a great exercise if you're at the point in your guitar journey where you're working on bar chords and changing them. This is going to be great because it's going to give you the goal of trying to get the whole progression down in time. Okay, so the chords are going to be a E minor 7th, and then we're going to go to a A7, dominant chord, dominant 7th, to a D major 7th, real pretty sounding chords, to a G major 7th, really like those major 7th chords, they're really pretty sounding, to a half diminished chord, a C sharp minor 7 flat 5, okay, to a F sharp 7th, to B minor. It's in the key of B minor. All those chords are basically made up of notes in the B minor scale, and you could really hear it pulling to that B minor. B minor really sounds like home. Just, you know, B minor chord we're playing last in the progression. If you're trying to figure out key, and we have a lot of lessons on our website about key and figuring out key, it doesn't always have to be the first chord that you play. It's not necessarily the key of the song. Many instances, yes, but not necessarily, and certainly not in jazz. In many instances, in more jazzy type progressions. So you really want to find what sounds like home base. What is everything pulling toward? And usually that's the key you'll find. So these chords work real nice together, and they sound very pretty together. All right, so let's just let's go in tight, and I'll give you a tight shot on each chord in case you don't know it. Okay, here's a good look at this E minor 7th chord. That's the first chord in the progression. And then it goes to an A7. You could keep your fingers in the same shape and just drop back 2 frets and up a string. And there's an A7th chord. That's your dominant 7th chord. And then right under that, you're going to go to a B major 7th. Very pretty chord. I love major 7th chords. That's a 5th string root. And again, you could see this first finger, how it spills over to mute that low E. You don't want to have that low E string ringing. See, it really muddies that chord up. See, I'm hitting it now, all 6, but since it's muted, you don't hear it. Okay, and then the next chord in the progression is a G major 7th. Now you're only playing 4 strings with this chord. There's a good look at that. Nice and jazzy. I'm muting with that first finger. I'm hooking it over, and it's muting the A string, and I'm not playing the high E string. Okay, and again, another 4-string chord is this half diminished chord. There's a good look at that. That's that C sharp minor 7th flat 5. Don't let that name intimidate you. It's actually quite easy. I'm on the 4th fret, A string root, and that's that minor 7 flat 5. Again, mute the low E string. And then the next chord is that F7th. Actually, it's an F sharp 7th, 2nd fret, low E string root. And again, you know that 7th shape because we played the A 7th up here. Slide it down to the 2nd fret, F7, F sharp 7. And then just a stock B minor chord at the 2nd fret of the A string is your root, and you're playing the B minor chord. That's all the chords we're going to use in this progression. So let's just take, you could do this with so many different strums, but let's just take like something with all downstrokes, and maybe we'll throw in some chucking, kind of sound like this, kind of jazz it up a little bit. So I'm kind of going down, chuck, down, down, chuck. Chuck, down, down, chuck, down, down, chuck, down, down, chuck. Okay, something like that. I'm just kind of making this up. There's your strum. And I'll flash this on the screen in text so you can see it. And let's just go through the chords, 2 measures per chord, and see if you could change them all in time. Okay, now if you're getting stuck on a particular change, like maybe from that G major 7th to that C sharp minor 7 flat 5, just keep going back and forth, you know, when you're practicing, and just practice the mechanics of that change. Back and forth, back and forth. Any of those, if you're having trouble going from the E minor 7th to the A 7th, just 1 hit each. And just keep going back and forth and try to keep those fingers real close to the fretboard. Little movement is possible, okay? So let's play the progression, and I'll flash this on the screen as we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. E minor 7. A7. D major 7th. G major 7th. C sharp minor 7 flat 5. F sharp 7th to the B minor. Build the B minor. Maybe change the strum up. And so on and so forth. So it's a very nice little progression. I think you'll like it. And you want to try to get to the point where you can play that and go from one chord to the next in time and use whatever strum you're working on. Let's say you're just using that very basic down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So just use that. And do 2 measures per chord at first. That strum has more of an 8th note kind of feel, kind of like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Okay, and so on and so forth. But try 2 measures per chord at first, because that'll give you a little more time on the chords and make the changes a little bit easier. Then go to 1 measure per chord. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, and so on and so forth. And eventually try to get it 1 hit per chord. And so on and so forth, okay? Now, you can also go to our website, and in the written lessons section of the website, I have all those chords written out, okay? And this is under the arpeggio exercise, Jazzy B minor, okay? So I have all the chords diagrammed out, and I also have, if you want to use this as a lead exercise, different arpeggios diagrammed out that you can play over each chord, as well as a little lesson on what works as far as improvisation, whether you're going to be soloing over the whole thing or soloing over each of the chords, because there's so much you can do over something like that, and kind of break it down and explain it. And we also have a jam track. I have all those chords laid out on an audio track with drums and bass, and you could use that to further your lead playing also, and that's in the jam track section of the site, where you can practice all your different lead exercises and shapes and scales and modes and arpeggios, and really work it, and that's how you really can get your playing to the next level. So give that a try too. So I hope you enjoyed that little progression. Tune into our website at nextlevelguitar.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the orange subscribe button and subscribe to our site, and we thank you. And I'm David Taub, and I will see you in the next lesson. Take care and rock on.